Alright, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Powered by Primus. And in today's video, everybody, we are going to be showing off, I am going to be showing off the anticipation card list, and I'm going to be showing you guys two different lists, which are only different by like 3 cards, which is really funny. With these different characters, which is really fun. Currently, I'm running Windcharger because I'm having way too much fun with him, and he's honestly going to be more consistent with this list, but I'm having an insane amount of fun as well as with Barricade, who I was running with previously before Wave 5 did come around. And if you guys obviously can't get your hands on a Windcharger, this is going to be a very easy way to sub for another character, and coming in with the same star count, which is super awesome. I'm going to move Barricade off to the side. We're going to talk about all 3 of these characters. Obviously, we're going to be doing a full deck profile video where we're going to be talking about each one of these characters as well as the deck that does come with them. Now, before we talk about Anticipation Engine, which is obviously going to be one of the highlight cards of the deck, this thing can really do quite a bit without that card, but with that card, this deck becomes absolutely just a monster. Actions all over the place. We're flying, we're going out of control. I'm also going to try to make as many car puns as I possibly can, so we're going to be doing pedal to the metal when it comes to this video. Now, Anticipation Engine, originally with the cars, is all going to be Joe from Wreckin' Rule's idea. He did do Anticipation cars, he ran them to some really fun degree for a bunch of different stuff, so huge shout out to him obviously for getting this going, and then I've really kind of taken it and I've just really ran off with it. So trying to do as much as I can with the list because I really think that he definitely cracked open something really awesome. So it is really fun, and it can be very powerful, especially with really the limited card pool that it uses is really good. So we're gonna be diving into obviously everything. The first character that we're going to talk about here is going to be Cliffjumper, because he is going to be the, I would say, I mean, they're all ridiculously good. I can't lie to you guys. There's no definitely key element character in this list. However, the card advantage, the draw that we get from this character is absolutely bonkers. I was actually chatting with someone recently about whether or not Cliffjumper can be subbed, and they brought up a really good point, is he honestly can't. You can't take cars to a competitive event without having a Cliffjumper in your lineup. Currently, I do think that there are other characters that you could sub that have the same potential as far as can be doing certain things. However, for this list specifically, though, the answer is no. Cliffjumper is definitely a must. With the Energon edition coming out, though, it did drop the price on him significantly, so I think he is a lot easier to obtain. This is going to be the Energon edition, and it's just because he is gorgeous, heavy, really thick card, and of course, I'm going to be playing with it. The lineup is actually really pricey, which is really fun. I'm actually going to put a challenge out for you guys here soon that is really going to push you guys' to your deck building abilities, which is going to be really fun. But talking about Cliffjumper, car, melee, he's going to be an Autobot. All 3 of these are going to be Autobots. It says when you flip one of your other cars, so this does not count himself, this would be your other cars, from bot mode to bot mode. So when you're flipping from alt to bot mode, then you do get to draw a card, which is really where one of the huge combos does come into play with this deck. We'll talk about that here in just a second. He's got 5, 12, 2 in both modes, which is super awesome. And then where in this mode we become ranged, not relevant in the list. It does say that this gets +1 attack for each car in your KO area. Now this is one question I do get asked quite a bit is, Jamie, can you flip characters in your KO area? And the answer to you is yes. However, you cannot activate abilities in your KO area unless you are Wave 2 Sentinels for a different video. But if I'm in this mode, and let's say I happen to flip to this mode in my KO area, I cannot get activation of his ability. However, I can transform into my KO area to make him a car to turn on Cliffjumper for that ability. So that is one thing for you to know. Now, the next character we're going to talk about here is going to be Windcharger. Now, this is a new character with Wave 5 coming in. He is going to be a super rare, and he has been performing like a super rare. Very much a sleeper with this new list. Kevin, one of our teammates here, played this against me, not this list obviously, but played Windcharger against me, who didn't really know what he came across, but bam, man, the guy inspired me, and it really launched this deck into a whole nother realm. We are doing laps with this deck. It is so much fun. So when we are taking our first turn of the game, so even if our opponent goes first, when it does come back to our turn, which is our first turn of the game, he's always going to get +3 attack. Even if we choose to go first, it's our first turn, boom, this character is cracking in for a monster 7 off of his first attack before playing anything, and obviously before flips, which is really powerful. Going to be car, going to be melee. Obviously, the melee tag is not relevant. Car, very relevant. And then it is 4, 11, and 1. And then the crazier part is when we flip over to this mode, our stats change. We do lose an attack, however, we get to pick up an armor, which is really, really cool. For the most part, when we are in this mode, we are going to be defending, which is really, really awesome. The fact that we're going to be getting the punch here and then we're going to be getting the defense here is really, really awesome. And then it does say, when you flip to this mode, you get to draw a card, and then you may plan 1 card, which means you get to put a card from your hand on top of your deck. That's where we're really going to start to get a lot of that deck manipulation in play, and we're going to really be abusing the top of the deck with this list, which is so powerful and really a lot of fun. Now, the really cool part about this ability is that when you have Cliffjumper in this mode and you flip, you actually get to draw 2 and plan 1, which is an incoming transmission all by itself at any given time with just using a flip, which does allow you to draw 2 cards and put on top of your deck. Now, another question that we do get answered, I guess asked quite a bit, is how do things trigger? How does it stack? This game is made by Magic the Gathering. Of course, there's got to be a stack. And I meant Wizards, I guess, who also made Magic the Gatherings. And there is. So what happens is that if there are multiple abilities that happen at the same time, the active player would get to choose in which those orders do happen. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that there is something very, very specific with a certain character that we're going to be talking about later on who can really do a lot of different things before your opponent even gets to defend, which is really, really amazing. So what happens is we're going to flip Windcharger to this mode. We're going to choose to draw off Cliffjumper, and then we can choose to draw 1 and then put 1 on top of our deck. If you choose to do this first, you're going to draw 1, put it on top of your deck, and then draw off Cliffjumper. So it's really, really awkward. So make sure you do Cliffjumper first. Boom. Now you're drawing 2. You get to put 1 back on top of your deck, so we can really mess with the top of our deck at any given time, which is super, super awesome. And then the other character coming in here is going to be Bumblebee. He's going to be a leader, car, and melee. The car is obviously going to be relevant. 5, 14, 2, which is super solid numbers. When you flip to this mode, you may play an action. Now, this is going to be very, 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 very relevant. Anytime that you flip the character from this mode over to his alt mode, you get to do this ability. Even if something like on your opponent's turn causes you to flip the character, you do get to play the action as well, which is super, super awesome. We're going to be abusing that as well sometimes. And then while we're in this mode, oh, we're beautiful, we're golden. And then we're going to be ranged. We go to 6, 14, 1, and it says, when this attacks, you may scrap an action from your hand. If you do, you get to draw 2 cards. Again, sequencing is very, very important. I will talk about sequencing and attacks at the end of the video after we obviously break down all the cards, so you guys have a little more knowledge of what in the heck that I'm actually talking about. This is super, super powerful. Now, this deck has been ridiculously well. If you guys do want to see it in action, I did post gameplay a couple of days ago. I put a link in the description box below if you guys do want to go watch it play. I'm going to be playing it way more in the future, so don't worry. You guys will see more as well. Now, when it comes to talking about subbing out that Windcharger for Barricade, it's because Barricade has some really awesome abilities as well. I've yet to fully decide which character I honestly like more in the lineup. I'm just really, really exploring Windcharger right now because I obviously need to play with him a bunch to make sure that I do like him more, don't like him more, how often do I use him, all of that really good jazz when it comes to playtesting. Sergeant Barricade, car, melee, car obviously being relevant, is going to be 4, 12, 2. So he does have the same, he actually has better stats, 1 more health and 1 more defense while in this mode. However, it does say when you flip to this mode, you may play a battle card from under this. Now, we'll talk about that here in just a second. We flip over to this mode, we have 5, 12, 1. Now, if we go over to here, usually this is the mode that you're defending, and we actually get to lose a defense, pick up a health, and get to pick up 2 attacks. So that's the part that I'm really kind of iffy about. You essentially lose 2 attack when it comes to the initial swing. However, when this battles and has no battle cards under him, and I flip a blank battle icon card, you may put that card underneath him. And then obviously on your next turn when you flip him, boom, you get to play that blank battle icon for free. It does not take up your action for the turn, and believe me, there are quite a bit of really good blank battle icons in the deck that we will talk about. So obviously if we go to do something like defend, we get to attack, we have the attack to be able to get something underneath him, or on the defense because it's whenever this battle, so it's attack and defense. Obviously if we were to happen to get something like a ready for action on our turn, boom, we get to transform, play ready for action, untap, and we are ready to go. So again, we're going to talk about some of those really, really fun things that we are going to be doing here in a second with all these cars, because if you've never played cars, you've never seen cars, or don't know what cars really do, they spend all of their time untapping and attacking you for a million times. So I have spent many times when my opponent is completely tapped down and I have all 3 characters ready to swing. It is absolutely disgusting, and it is super, super fun and really powerful. So With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the deck here. Now, the first thing that we wanted to talk about is going to be obviously Anticipation Engine. Now, Anticipation Engine is a white battle icon card, allowing us to flip 2 more cards when it comes to combat, whether it's attack and or defense. It is a weapon, and it does say when the upgraded character attacks, you get to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an action, you may play it, which means you get to play that action for free. That is where a lot of the really cool stuff comes into play. So, we already talked about kind of being able to manipulate the top of the deck. We get to transform Windcharger, draw a card, put it on top of our deck. Now we get to attack, make sure we put an action on top. Boom, Anticipation Engine procs, we get a free action. Really, really fun stuff. And then if you were doing something like Bumblebee, you can choose to attack. If we didn't have a way to stack the top of our deck, what we can do is get rid of an action that we don't need, draw 2 cards, and then possibly proc the Anticipation Engine as well. So really, really fun stuff. Obviously, this card is going to be the huge highlight of the deck. It's something that we really, really want to see as much as we can. Drawing all these extra cards from transforming our characters, doing a bunch of that stuff really helps us see as many cards as we possibly can before we obviously make any plays. We really want to get that Anticipation Engine down, because once it is down, it is very hard for your opponent to come back. Now, usually you don't play Anticipation Engine without a data pad to go with it. Data pad is a white battle icon, again helping us out flipping those 2 on attack and on defense. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but this is a very aggressive deck, so it's a lot of orange, big actions that get to do some extra damage, and a lot of that good jazz. So this is going to allow us, it says, when the upgraded character attacks, you get to draw a card and then put it on top of your deck if you wish. Not the same card, then you may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Now, one thing to note is that you do not have to put a card on top of your deck. You may just draw a card and then go, cool, I'm going to keep it. However, these 2 are going to be the combo that you're going to have going on here. You can have this character, you can go ahead and attack, and now we have to talk about the sequencing on how things you want to break down. Let's say we have a useless action in our hand, we don't have anything that we guarantee we want to stack yet. So what I would do is I would choose to do Bumblebee's effect first, we would scrap an action, boom, draw 2 cards. Then we would activate data pad, we have to draw a card, and then now we have 3 more cards to look at, and hopefully a good action to put on top of our deck off the data pad's ability, and then we choose to activate Anticipation Engine, boom, free action. Really, really powerful and really important that you do this correctly, because you don't want to go data pad, draw a card, okay, I'm going to put this on top. Well, now you can't activate Bumblebee's ability because this is what you're trying to get Anticipation Engine for, so it makes that really, really bad. So it just can be really awkward. So make sure that in those scenarios that you are activating them in the correct order. Super awesome. Now, the next tree coming in here is going to be Grenade Launcher. You can't really build a very aggressive orange deck without having probably the most aggressive weapon in the game. It is going to have an orange battle icon card. It is a weapon giving us +4 attack, and then after the upgraded character attacks, you do scrap that card. So really powerful, being able to obviously get a bunch of damage on the board, and just being able to be a really reliable weapon when we don't happen to see an Anticipation Engine, or even if we're attacking with something like Windcharger on our first turn. However, our opponent went first, so we get to go second. You get to put that on there, and then you're swinging it for a base 11. Really good. Next three coming in here is going to be Power Punch. Again, another really good aggressive weapon. In this list, we are running a lot of orange, so we really want to try to make sure we see as many cards when it comes to attacking. Really trying to get a big benefit. I thought about putting Erratic Lightning in here. However, I do not like the -1. When it comes to the defense, that 1 can really make a big difference in aggressive matchups. Even if it gets against a blue matchup, then it's not really as relevant, but that 1 can still kind of hurt. So I'm going with the Power Punch orange battle icon, helping us out obviously on attack. It is going to be a weapon and does give us access to bold 3, and after the upgraded character attacks, we do scrap this card, however obviously giving us that bold 3. Now, talking about cars, it is really important to make sure we have turbo boosters in the list. This is an awesome card, utility as well as an orange battle icon. It does say put on cars only, so you cannot have Bumblebee in this mode and then go, I'm going to play turbo boosters on him. He is not a car in this mode. You have to obviously make sure that you have the car trait and be obviously in car mode. And then if you put this on a car, when you put this on a car, you may untap that character and give it +1 attack. So let's say we're in like something like this mode for the turn. What we can do is we can flip, we get to play an action, boom, play an action for turn, play a turbo boosters, and we would get to untap this character and be ready to rock and roll with him again. Obviously a ridiculously powerful ability to be able to get an additional attack and be able to do some really cool stuff on top of getting +1 in the utility slot if we don't happen to have a data pad down. The next three coming in, which is just absolutely funny art, is going to be Improvised Shield. Now, this was a Wave 1 card, Wave 2 card, and a Wave 5 card. It is going to be a double orange battle icon, which is the majority of the reason why it is in the deck, is just to get that double orange. And then I thought it was really funny that it's a card being blasted in a deck where you're playing cars. Anyway, really funny. It is an upgrade armor, and it does give us access to Tough 1. I've never played it for the armor, and I've never played it for the just to get the Tough 1. It's only been a double orange battle icon card. Really easy to pitch to like a green battle icon card, or for you to put on top of your deck if you don't happen to get an action. It is really nice to be able to stack those to get the double orange. And then finally, as a one-of, we do have Bashing Shield coming in here with an orange and a green battle icon that we just talked about. Orange obviously helps us out on attack. Green meaning we get to pick it up whenever we want. Usually only designed to obviously get rid of any armors in the list. It is an armor itself, giving us +1 for defense. I have played it for just the defense, I'll be honest with you guys, but it's mainly in there for its ability. It says when you put this on a character, you get to scrap an enemy armor. Nothing feels more bad, worse, about like attacking with a big attack into a character that's got like a force field or something that's got like tough, and you like are getting multiple swings, which is really nice, but they're also getting multiple defenses with the armor. Really brutal stuff. It'll definitely yeah, it'll hurt. So we have one Bashing Shield coming in to be able to take care of those cards in those situations. Now you guys may be surprised that there are very little upgrades, and it's because this deck is all about actions, especially when we're rocking something like an Anticipation Engine. So let's get into the actions. Now the first action coming in here is going to be Incoming Transmissions. Now we kind of talked about this already with Windcharger, but this card is absolutely necessary in the list. It is an orange battle icon. It does say you have to draw 2 cards and then put one back on top of your deck. Now the difference is that this card is a requirement, whereas Datapad says you may put one from your hand on top of your deck. This does say then put 1 card from your hand on top of the deck. So this is a must. This is a have to. Again, going to be really nice like an Anticipation Engine. You get to play this for the turn. You get to draw 2 cards and then put something back on top. So you're not actually losing playing an action for the turn. You actually get to just draw 2 for free for the turn, which can be really strong. And then especially if you have Bumblebee attacking to scrap an action, now you could possibly be drawing 4 in the turn. You can do some really cool stuff. Obviously though, if you play an Incoming Transmission, draw 2, put a card on top of your deck, and then you attack with Bumblebee, then obviously you may not get the ability. Now you can choose the Anticipation Engine first and then do this ability because it is triggered for whenever you want to, which is pretty cool. The next three coming in here that we did show off briefly is going to be Ready for Action. Now, all of these characters are under 10 stars, so this card works out perfectly. It is a blank battle icon. However, we just really want to be able to get this so we can get some untaps. I'm going to talk about how untapping works when it comes to attacking, because things can get a little awkward, but it is absolutely beautiful once you see it. And then obviously this is a blank battle icon card, so when it comes down to getting this with Barricade, it does count towards his ability, which is really cool. And then obviously it says untap one of your characters that has 10 or fewer stars. Now the character does have to be tapped in order for you to activate this ability. Obviously if your character is already untapped, then it does nothing for your character. The next three coming in here is going to be Peace Through Tyranny. Now Peace Through Tyranny is primarily in there for a double orange battle icon card, obviously helping us out on attack a lot more, easy to play on top if we're trying to push some damage. However, it has a few other hidden things that we can do with it. One thing that we can do with it is scrap it to Bumblebee to be able to draw 2 cards. I find myself getting this card in my hand a lot and never really having to activate it for its ability, so I usually get to attack it to scrap this card, which is really nice because it gets it out of your hand back into your scrap pile to hopefully be shuffled back into your deck and allowing you to draw 2 cards. So it essentially cycles itself and lets you draw a card, which I think is really good. And then obviously there's those situations where it says you may KO one of your characters that has 6 or more. If you do, you get to take an extra turn. Now I have done it before, KOing my Windcharger. My opponent happens to leave him alive. I get an attack with Bumblebee, an attack with Cliffjumper, and then I get to untap and get another attack. So it's really strong as well if your opponent unfortunately doesn't take out a character. I mean, I guess fortunately for you, right? And then you get to really run them over. Now the next three coming in here is going to be Rollout. This card is super awesome and a very awkward card to have in the list normally. However, this thing just performs extremely well in this list. First off, it is an orange and a blue battle icon card, so it's going to help us out on attack and on defense. And yes, that one blue makes a huge difference on defense if you happen to flip it against another aggressive deck. Most of the time after they see your list, you're pretty orange, so they do basic math and try to get to that exact number to KO you, and then boom, you flip a blue and you completely ruin their day. it does say flip each of your characters from bot mode to alt mode. So this is going to be really, really strong in those scenarios that we're sitting here like this. We've already transformed kind of. We get to play a rollout for the turn. We get to transform here. And then now what we actually get the ability to do is play a free action off of Bumblebee. And we can either choose to flip Windcharger and get access to his ability again, drawing 2, putting 1 on top of the deck, transforming Bumblebee to draw an additional card off of Cliffjumper, and then still being able to attack and do some really fun stuff. So also you can stack this with Anticipation Engine. If you happen to be attacking, you reveal this with Anticipation. You can choose to flip Bumblebee because obviously it would transform all of your characters, and then you get to play an action on top of that from your hand. So if you happen to not be able to have a way to stack it, you're really lucky with a rollout, boom, you have some pretty cool stuff that you can do with that. The other thing you can do is flip Barricade over. So if Barricade happens to be in this mode and you have a blank battle icon or anything, you happen to reveal a rollout as a free card, boom, you get to transform, play that free card, and then you're in a happy boat as well. The next 3 coming in here is going to be Supercharged. Now this is really funny because I haven't played this card in forever. I've really been playing Fight for Position for most things because that is an orange and a black battle icon. However, this bad boy is way better-ish. It's a really, really good card in the list. It is going to be an orange battle icon, obviously helping us out with attack and then giving us bold 3, just allowing us to be able to attack for more. Now, if you are curious if Supercharge does work once a character already declares an attack, and the answer is going to be yes when it's stacked with Anticipation Engine. So what happens is Anticipation Engine will go down before any of the other stuff happens. So if you happen to attack, you're saying I declare this character, you tap the character, then Anticipation were to reveal this, then yes, you still get bold because you have not started your flip, you have not begun your attack yet. This officially does proc before anything else. It's a very interesting thing, I know, but it does work, which makes it amazing. Now the next 3 cards coming in here, and a blue battle icon, again, just enough to throw off your opponent, plus it looks so pretty. This is the Energon Edition Start Your Engines. It is also a Wave 1 rare. Going to be Start Your Engines, blue battle icon card. It says flip each of your characters from bot mode to car mode, and then untap one of your cars. Oh! Yes! So it's an even better rollout. It allows us to transform all of our characters over, but also get to untap a card. So in that same situation we were talking about, where we happen to be like this, you get to play Start Your Engines, boom, you get to transform them both over, and let's say one was tapped, most likely Windcharger would be tapped. You would then get to untap the character and ready to be able to attack with it again. You can still get the ability off of Bumblebee, you can flip Bumblebee, you can flip Windcharger, do all that really good fun stuff as well, on top of getting the untap. Super, super amazing. The next 2 coming in here is going to be Blade Fury. This is going to be a Wave 5 card. Coming in, blank battle icon card. Again, being really good for Barricade, but also being a fantastic action where it says one of your characters gets +2 until end of turn. However, if it has a weapon, instead it gets +4 until end of turn. So now what this will do is turn your Anticipation Engine, your Grenade Launcher, your Power Punches into even bigger weapons. Like imagine playing Grenade Launcher and then Blade Fury and you're attacking for +8. Oh my lord, it's super powerful. Not to mention being able to play something like this onto an Anticipation Engine. Now the Anticipation Engine becomes a Grenade Launcher on top of that, which is really, really powerful. And then if you happen to play 2 of these in a turn, yes, they do stack. It also does say, which is very specific, we'll talk about, it says that the character gets +4 until end of turn. So if you happen to be getting multiple swings with a character, guess what? This card remains active until the end of turn, not the end of a battle, which is very, very important. I have swung for insane amounts of damage with this on this stack because you keep getting attacks, it sticks around. And then finally, the last card coming in here is going to be one of them is going to be Ramming Speed. It's going to be an orange battle icon helping us out on attack. It's going to be an action, obviously, and it says scrap an enemy upgrade. This can get rid of utilities that give them plus health, energy packs, enhanced power cells, anything that has like bravery if you happen to go in against anything like weird like that, any type of armors like force fields or anything we talked about previously. Even if they have a really annoying weapon and you're worried about the crackback and you need to get rid of that weapon before they get to attack with it, then boom, this is just a really good go-to card. Now, a few different things that I have in this list versus what I have in my Barricade list. In my Barricade list, I do go up to 3 Blade Fury, and then I do run 2 Supporting Fires. The Supporting Fire is a new Wave 5 battle card coming in here with a blank battle icon. One of your characters gets +1 attack until end of turn, and it can attack untapped characters as though they were tapped, which is, if you guys remember, going to be a Wave 1 super rare Bumblebee ability. It was really cool. You get to flip over, transform into a car mode, bam, and now you can attack any character. So this is really, really dangerous. Your opponent thinks that they have a character protected, is safe. After a reset, they feed you somebody, and then boom, you hit him with a supporting fire, and you get to completely roll your opponent. It is super, super awesome. I do currently run it in my sideboard for the cars list, as well as another Blade Fury, just in case I happen to need another one of these. Or like I said, that supporting fire if my opponent is running a wider team or something with stealth, and they really trying to like protect themselves, the supporting fire does come in. The other really fun card I was running with Barricade is actually Photon Bomb. This thing has the ability to do 2 damage to each character, and being able to get it after like a barricade flip is really strong. It really hurts you as well, but usually because we're untapping so much and swinging so much, it hurts your opponent more, especially if they are wider. So it really punishes those wide teams. Really, really fun stuff. Another thing we're going to talk about here is kind of how the attack sequences work with stacking the top of your deck. It is really, really strange, so I kind of want to go through a lot of the things so you guys can just kind of see what does indeed fact happen, and then I'm going to kind of shuffle everything up, and we're going to play a little bit of a run through with it, because it seems like you guys have a really fun time with being able to do some stuff like that. So let's kind of load up our Bumblebee here, who's going to be our main character we're going to be doing some swinging with. Now, let's say that this is going to be the top of my hand. Well, what's going to happen is I'm going to attack with Bumblebee, and I can choose to do his ability or not. Now I'm going to choose not to do his ability. Now I'm going to play Data Pad. We get to do something like draw a card, and we get to put a card back on top of our deck because of Data Pad, and I'm going to put this ready for action on top of the deck. Now what's going to happen is Anticipation Engine is going to proc, gets me the free card off the top of the deck, which does say untap one of my characters. Now, I've already declared my attack with Bumblebee, so I'm still doing my attack. This is very important. I'm still attacking. I flip my cards for battle like normal. My opponent flips their cards like battle for normal. And then if they are tapped down, guess what? I get to go again because I am still untapped. So if my opponent has an untapped character, then they get to go, and I just remain untapped, and then it goes back to my turn. But again, if they're tapped down, guess what? We get to attack again. We get to draw a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to stack a card. We get to play Start Your Engines. I would get to transform and untap, play an action, boom, I'll drop a Blade Fury for the turn. And we're going to put that on here. Now, like I said, this does get to stack until the end of the turn, so we're going to get our attack. We're going to flip our cards like normal. We're getting the +4, so we're in for a base 9. And then what will happen is if we happen to have some other weird stacking things, we get to just keep going. We get to just keep attacking our opponent, which is ridiculously awesome. It is super, super strong to be able to figure out how to be able to get a lot of these cards to do a lot of the things that they need to do. They just hit for so much damage, and it is so many attacks, to be honest with you guys. Like I said, the previous video, you guys get to kind of see it wasn't really much fair for the match. I thought the matchup would be a lot closer, and it just turns out that this list ran very, very well. So it was really, really interesting. I'm going to kind of just shuffle here, and we're going to kind of chat about some stuff. But what I want to do is I want to task you guys with something. I'm going to put this out on Twitter. I'm going to put this out on Facebook, a bunch of different things, which... By the way, we do have a Facebook page. It is going to be powered by Primus. I suggest that you guys join that or start following it, whatever it's called nowadays. And it's because I'm going to be doing a lot more to that Facebook page. And if you guys want to stay up to date on a bunch of different stuff, that is going to be the way to do it. I'm always going to be posting on there. I do also have a Twitter, so follow me at Twitter. Obviously, it's powered by Primus. I do random tweets. I update when the videos go live, all of that really good jazz. Random thoughts. I'm going to be throwing a really cool random thought as you guys hear soon. And then there is an Instagram. I rarely ever post to it because it's about pictures. I would definitely say follow Twitter way before following Instagram. But definitely try to get in on the Facebook page. We're going to be doing some really, really fun stuff over there. And then obviously if you guys want to support the channel more, as well as get some pretty sweet rewards, we do have a Patreon if you guys do want to check that out. Huge shout out to all of our patrons currently who help keep this show going and all of that really good jazz. Awesome group of people. Everyone's amazing, let's just be honest. But if you guys do want to check that out, I will put a link in the description box below. So, all right, I feel like we're pretty shuffled here. I just want to kind of see how this goes. Boom. We're going to put that right. All right, so what we're going to do is decide if we want to go first or if we want to go second. And honestly, it doesn't really matter. If we go first, we get to throw Windcharger into whoever we want, which is really, really nice. And then if our opponent goes first, they most likely attack Bumblebee or Windcharger. Some people will go after Cliffjumper if they don't have a lot of experience playing up its cars. It's really a bad hit to go into Cliffjumper. He's going to be dangerous no matter what. You really want to try to damage these characters because these are going to be the best characters. So let's go like 1 through 3. I go first, and 4 through 6. Our opponent goes first. That's on a roll. Boom. All right, so our opponent's going to go first, so we're going to go second. So let's go ahead and draw up here. Wow, really good hand that we're starting with here. I guess we can just put it all down here. We don't have to really hide anything, obviously. Okay. So our opponent goes first. They either are most likely going to Windcharger because you're probably going to be swinging with him first. That's probably the better play for our opponent to do. However, sometimes they'll go into Bumblebee because he is a threat. Depending on what happens, let's say they're going to go into Windcharger. Let's say they're probably in for like 7 or something like that. So we're going to take 6. Boom, we get hit, especially on the first turn. And then what's going to happen is that we get to draw a card. Rollout's going to be pretty nice here. Now what's going to happen is we want to swing with Windcharger for sure because we want that +3. So what we're going to do is transform Bumblebee. We get to draw a card off of Cliffjumper. And oh man, we are finding ourselves in a beautiful, beautiful boat. The cool part is that now we have Windcharger next turn set up to be able to do some cool stuff to plan if we want to go that route. So what we could do here is we can throw Cliffjumper if we're worried about our opponent KOing our Windcharger. However, if we're not worried about our Windcharger going down, then we're going to swing with him. It is kind of unfortunate to have to swing, not swing Windcharger and lose that +3. However, if we're going into something that we don't really want the big hit for, it's kind of useless anyways, let's be honest. So I don't really have anything that I want to play this turn, to be honest with you, and I don't really want to play the Anticipation Engine until we go for an attack and a transform, because I don't want to lose any of the really cool stuff. So what I would probably do is just keep it all, and let's assume that our opponent is going to KO our Windcharger back. So I'd actually get in here with Cliff. We're going to get in for 7, and then they're going to attack back. Sure, let's say we're going to take 6, and then we can pick a Bashing Shield if we want. I think I'm actually going to keep the Peace Through Tyranny. So then what we're going to do is we're going to draw for the turn. Oh man, another just beautiful, beautiful card. And what we're going to do here is we're going to really take advantage of a lot of this stuff here. We're going to play an Anticipation Engine because we're going to get a really big turn here, actually. And then what's going to happen is we are going to transform Windcharger, and then we get to draw 2 cards. We're going to choose to do our Cliffjumper first, obviously, and then choose to do Windcharger's ability. We're going to draw those 2, and then we're going to put a card on top of our deck, and I'm going to be planning that Start Your Engines. Now, what's going to happen is I have the ability to play 2 actions in this turn, which is going to be pretty cool. We're going to do some really fun stuff. My normal action for the turn is we're going to play like a Blade Fury, and that's going to give me +4 on my Bumblebee, and then what we're going to do is we are going to attack in here. Now, again, we did put this on top. I'm going to leave it there so I don't want to activate Bumblebee's ability. However, we're going to use Anticipation Engine, and we are going to, boom, we're going to play that card. Now, what's going to happen? It's going to let me transform all these characters and then untap one. I'm still attacking with Bumblebee. However, now my opponent's going to have to go back into Cliffjumper. When I transform this mode, I may play an action if I want. I can choose to play a rollout, but obviously not going to do anything. I can choose to play a Peace Through Tyranny even in this situation if I want. However, I'm not going to. So we're just going to play that, and we're going to continue our attack here. So we're going to be getting in for 5, 9, 11. Pretty solid attack, and then obviously we are untapped again. So we're going to go back into the next sequence. Let's say our opponent blows up our Anticipation Engine. No, why do you do that to me? And then they're going to go back into Cliffjumper, and let's say that 1 blue is going to keep us around. Awesome. We're going to go up to 11, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get to draw a card, and we're going to be in a really good spot. Now, even if our opponent would have gotten rid of Cliff, would have super sucked, don't get me wrong, but let's just assume that he went down. Now what we can do is actually quite a bit of things. We can choose to plan another Anticipation Engine. If our opponent's wide, what I would do is swing with Windcharger here and then try to set up for the data pad here next turn. However, we're going to go for the Anticipation Engine here. Not really a whole lot we can do, but what I'm going to show you guys kind of some of the things that we can do. And we don't really have a way to stack the data pad this turn as well, which is kind of unfortunate. So let's go ahead and let's just transform here. And then what we're going to do is, let's say our opponent's tapped down, we're going to double swing. There's not a whole lot that we can do. So let's go ahead and attack with Windcharger. What we could have done is do the draw 1, plan 1, and possibly seen something a little better. However, we're going to attack, and we're going to play that Anticipation Engine, and woo-wee, looking super good. So there's 1. Oh, sorry. We can actually choose to do his ability now. Of course, I'm going to do that. We're going to get rid of that, and let's go ahead and draw 2. Oh, it's going to kind of suck. We could have gotten a double orange off the top. Totally fine. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, white, white. So getting in for pretty good here. We're getting in for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pretty solid hit. And then we'd obviously get in with our Windcharger. And you guys can really kind of see how things are going to go. And then obviously with reset, our Bumblebee's not really damaged. We have quite a bit of gas still in our hand. We'd get a little bit of a defense, and then we would get to draw here. Most likely them KO and our Windcharger. Totally fine. And then as you guys can see now, we had to go with a data pad here. We get to attack. I'm going to choose to do Bumblebee's ability first. Let's go ahead and dunk that card. We get to draw 2 more cards, and then we get to use data pad to draw a card. And then now we're going to plan something. You guys can see that I can choose to plan, let's say, ready for action. Anticipation Engine will proc. We get to untap. We're still attacking. Boom, we're getting in here. We have to flip all the cards. Watch, you guys will see how many attacks this is because this is absolutely ridiculous. Now this is obviously on the assumption that our opponent is tapped down. Obviously doesn't have any untapped characters. Even if they do have an untapped character, we still get to go again after this, which is kind of, you know, busted. Boom, we're in for 6, 7, 8, 9. Pretty good. Now we do get to keep all these cards aside. Again, let's say that our opponent's tapped down. Now let's go ahead and scrap something like a rollout to draw 2 cards. Oh my god, we got another one. And then let's do data pad to draw a card. And let's go ahead and stack a start your engines. We're going to play start your engines with the anticipation engine that will untap, or sorry, that will flip us, untap us. When I flip to this mode, we get to play in action. We're going to play a Blade Fury. We're still attacking. Watch this, guys. I'm telling you. This is kind of crazy. So we're in for 5, 9, 10. Cool. So again, all those cards get to stay there. We're in the same sequencing. We just have to attack here. We have to choose to do data pad here. We're going to draw a card, and we're going to stick this on top of the deck. Play that off the anticipation engine. We get to untap. We're swinging again. We're in for 5, 9 because this gets to stick around. 10, 11. And then we get to attack again, draw off data pad, and we get to finally stack something that we really can't get. So what we're going to do is we're going to stack that Blade Fury. We get to play that, and then now what we are doing is we're attacking for 5, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16. Not to mention that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks in a single sequence. So it's absolutely ridiculous what you can do with some of these sequences once you get kind of your lineup going, once you have the data pad down, once you have the anticipation engine. You can really kind of go to town. I have completely one-shot a Galaxy Prime off of the table using Bumblebee. I was able to like stack, I think it was like 2 Blade Furies and get like 3 attacks like you guys just saw, and it just completely wiped a Galaxy Prime off the table with an energy pack before they could even do anything, which was really quite amazing. Super fun deck again. I guess I should show you guys with Barricade, although I am running I think like 2 less blanks in the deck, just because I'm really curious if we can see if we can get this to kind of show off really what it does with Barricade in there, because it's only fair, man. We get Barricade the light because he's so good. He's so good. I love it. So let's go. Sorry, you're out. We get to go this as my lineup. Let's say we're in the same situation where we are going second. Although with Barricade, you actually really want to go first. They'll most likely go into Bumblebee for that scenario, which is fine. We get to draw a card. We'll transform. We get to draw a card. And then we do have cards. Usually what I try to do with Barricade is go for like bold. So just because you want to try to see as many as possible. Let's go ahead. Not really much of a choice here. So let's go with a grenade launcher and let's kind of just swing it out and let's see how lucky we get. We don't. We get in for 10, which is not bad. And then he gets to go to defend. And we did get to see a blank card on defense, which is really nice. We lose that. And what we're going to be able to do here is actually have a pretty cool little turn. What I would probably do is... How would we... Ooh, actually... Oh, we wouldn't have a weapon, though. Oh, man, that'd be so good. We could just, I mean, absolutely destroy. Playing the grenade launcher is now a bad choice, everybody. So I think what we would do is transform B. We'd get to draw a card. Not really get to see anything good here, which is kind of unfortunate. We could try to do incoming transmission. However, then we don't get to play any additional actions this turn. Oh, we got kind of boned there, everybody. I'm not gonna lie. I guess we could still get +4 for the turn, which isn't bad. It's just not great either. I guess we can get in for a pretty big hit. It's just, it'd be so much cooler if we had a weapon. If we had a weapon, we can get +4, +8, +9. Oh my, we could get in for some insane damage right now. But let's go ahead and just kind of do it this way, because usually this is what I would do. Let's go ahead and transform Barricade, which would allow me to play that character. We get +2. I would play a Turbo Boosters, allowing me to untap. And then as my action, I'd honestly probably play an incoming transmission. However, I wouldn't be opposed to playing another Blade Fury. Most likely playing the incoming transmission. We'll draw 2, and then let's put something like Rollout on top of our deck. Yeah, let's put a Rollout on top of the deck. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get in here for yet another attack with that character. And then we're in here for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is pretty spicy. And then again, we get to defend. Hopefully we survive. And if we do, we have ready and start your engines. And then our opponent has to spend a 3rd attack into Barricade. Going through all of that, we'd get to draw. We'd play that. Oh, then I would probably play that. Oh man, we could do some insane stuff. You guys get to kind of see how it works as far as with those blank battle icons go with Barricade. It's still ridiculously fun, and then these characters just get to kind of really go crazy on your opponent. and get to just have so much fun. I really hope that you guys did enjoy this deck breakdown, talking about these characters, all of this really good stuff. I have a blast playing this deck, and I know a lot of people really wanted to see the list, so I'm really happy that you guys did get to see this, and it's going to be really, really fun. Obviously, if you guys enjoyed it, like, would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you guys get access to all of the videos as soon as they become available, and if you guys want to get access to the videos as soon as they become available on top of just being subscribed, make sure you guys hit that notification bell, because I'll admit, like, sometimes it just doesn't show anybody that the video's up. So if you guys want to make sure that you are like, well, bam, first to see that video right away, hit the notification bell. I'll catch you guys in the next one.